Could be Heroes of the Storm. I never played Heroes. I played more League, but I stopped a long time ago because it's not a very fun game when you're bad at it, and it's a very annoying game when you are good at it because everyone's so goddamn toxic in it. Oh, what am I doing? So I've been messing around with League again for the last little bit. The first time that I played it in give or take 5 years. Really, I was mostly influenced to do so thanks to the Pokemon Unite video, which I'll get into it at a different time. But anyways, it inspired me to come back to it, see what kind of stuff I might have missed. I didn't lose all focus on League though. I would occasionally watch like the LCS every now and again, just to, you know, it is entertaining to watch at least, but to play is something else. Now, just to preface right away, for anyone clicking on this video thinking they're going to get some sort of super insightful, like, galaxy brain ideas from a former master from way back in yonder days, you ain't gonna get it here. Now, I wouldn't even consider myself a casual player, so to speak. Like Final Fantasy XIV, I would think I'm more of a casual player there, but I at least understand all the classes. I got them all maxed. I understand the mechanics of boss fights, and I understand most of the terminology to a certain extent. League, though, not so much. I'm pretty bad at it, and I'm still kind of struggling, so to speak. But that's for later on down the line. Back in 2014, 2015-ish, I kind of started to pick it up just for whatever reason, something to do. I had a really crappy laptop that I just played on that actually like lost power when it was charged in, so that was kind of frustrating. But anywho, I played it on there just because it was the only thing that laptop could run for a game, you know, something to do. I also had a couple friends that played, one more specifically that actually helped me introduce like the big mechanics that you would need to understand in order to actually play the game well. More or less the different rules in the game. Not too much more after that, but it was a start, and a start always helps. But man, I was not prepared for the storm of craziness that is League. And what I will say about League, past or present, is this. As a part of the free-to-play adage that seems to be getting further and further tainted by dirty microtransactions and legal but super shady gambling tactics to rope people in, League was probably the first to rise in popularity with that free-to-play moniker. However, out of all of them, I think League handles it in a more consumer-friendly manner. You do get free use of champs every week, spicing up your pool of champions you can try out. Every champion can be obtained purely from in-game currency, and even as of late, earning the currency isn't grueling of a task. You can further upgrade that by the game's loot system. Leveling up and playing really well, sometimes a little too well, but anywho, can net you basically champ coupons to get them half price or other sorts of cosmetics regularly only obtainable through real money. Yeah, you can buy your way through everything, and God knows if you want something really specific, you may have to do that. But for the free-to-play options, they're there alongside a guaranteed paid option for those who don't want to gamble on that, which is a lot more than I can say for other games. But these champs, man, they are some of the most diverse and interesting designs for characters that have very little coherent backstories for. You like bows? We got characters for you. Want to play as a big burly dude? We got that too. Like your cute critters? Sure, League's got you covered. Want to play as eldritch abominations in my nightmares? Go right ahead. You can even play as a pretty bird lady if you want. Hell, you can play as a pretty bird man too, just not that one. Ugh. That's better. And the skins, dude. Man. I mean, yeah, for all intents and purposes, real money is the only way you'll get them consistently. But not for all. I got really lucky and I got the arcade Riven skin, which is super cool, though I haven't actually used her yet. But for the amount of skins and for the variety that they use for the theming for them, Riot has got some excellent creative minds working there to come up with these ideas. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of like the really novelty-based skins, stuff like Halloween, Christmas, other stuff like that. But things like the project skins, those are super cool, and I really like the sort of neon cyberpunk aesthetic to it. I never watched Sailor Moon growing up, but the Star Guardian skins are stellar, and what got me into using Janna. I already liked Ari, so having one for her was just too perfect. And the work Riot puts into advertising these things, man. The music videos, the shorts introducing the new skins, characters. Again, Riot, Creative Division, y'all are great. Well, golly gee, you might be wondering, that's a lot to talk about a game without actually talking about the game. And yeah, you're right, and it wouldn't be hard to talk about the game per se. By this point in time, though, the game's over 10 years old. Most people would already have a small inkling on how to play, and like I said, I'm not good enough to really exposit on how the game should be played. There really is a lot of variety to it. There is a sort of set way you should play. Not everyone follows those rules though, so there is that. But there are other things about the game that I kind of wanted to discuss, and it's usually what kind of caused my issues with the whole League of Legends community. What I can say is this: when I can get a good game going, where the back and forth is strong, where I don't even know who's going to come out on top, the game is very brain taxing. There are so many factors to consider that for someone like me, outcomes to any fight can really come down to dumb luck or random chance. And even then, building the items in-game that the game recommends is fine, but then you'll get that one person who knows what they're doing coming in, building something totally different, and now recommended isn't so recommended. But all that mental fortitude, it comes with time and experience. I really don't want to knock it too bad for that. It's just a huge learning curve, that's for sure. And in general, comparing 2015 League to 2020 League, oh my god. 2015 League was such a pain in the butt. That back and forth I mentioned? Nah, son. The vast majority of games can be decided right at first death. Better odds at first turn. The snowball effect of League was ruthless, and I very rarely ever had a team that came back from behind like that. Which comes to my second point, and probably the worst in my opinion. I mentioned in my Pokemon Unite video, but the 2015 League of Legends player base were so toxic. I think in hindsight, playing only blind pick didn't help, but I'll get back to that. If it wasn't someone not claiming the role that they wanted, then going AFK when they can't play it, you have people griefing as they play because they couldn't do that role, or just cursing at each other for every single minor misplay, or just being angry. It was so frustrating. As soon as one side starts losing, then nothing you do is correct. God, I hated it. I would claim right at the get-go, hey guys, I'm new to this character, and instantly that was a problem. More so when the other person overextends and no one else can save them. Forfeits at 15, intentionally feeding just cuz, arguing over the most minor of things mid-game. It was so annoying to deal with, and that all happened win or lose. Just that with a winning team being toxic, it was even more annoying to see. I've learned growing up that, just ignore stuff like that. It won't affect you now nor the future, so just endure and move on. But when you have to read it all the time, consistently and ruthlessly, no matter the state of the game, that shit gets mentally exhausting, which is what led to me eventually leaving from the game for some time. A massive losing streak consisting of the entire spectrum of inconveniences ranging from AFK players, griefing ones, rude or inconsiderate teammates, and getting blamed for stuff that wasn't even your fault. Call me a bitch if you want, it wasn't worth the stress when all I want to do is just kind of have some fun. So how does 2020 League stack up? Well, I was a little worried at first with the player base. All that previously mentioned issues seemed to kind of rear its ugly head again. I had too many games where someone AFK'd because they couldn't get the role they wanted, or I got stuck with jungle and no one wanted to help me out with it because I'm an absolutely terrible jungler. So I decided to try my hand at draft pick instead, basically the unranked version of regular play. I picked either support or ADC because, you know, support's kind of the one I always like to go to. My job isn't to get the kills or to carry, but it's to kind of help everyone else do the work, I suppose. And that takes a lot of stress off of me. Or I also pick AD carry because then I get to stay in the back line and just hit everyone with my ability, so it's fine. And with very few exceptions, mostly when I didn't pick support as my primary role, of course, people seemed more cooperative for the most part, though less communicative in general, which kind of sucks, but I'll take quiet over shit talk any day. And the snowball effect of League 2015 seems to be all but gone. Yeah, a few games the writing was on the wall right away for some moments, but I think in my brief time back playing League now, I've had more come from behind or super close victories than I ever did back in 2014, 2015, and I feel that says a lot about the nature of the game. You could also argue that it's partially due to my better hardware and my better knowledge of being able to play PC games, but I still like to think that Riot did put some effort into its state of play. I can't speak for ranked, I've yet to play it, and honestly the whole thing seems incredibly intimidating. Regardless of outcome, I usually need to take a break in between games of League anyways, just to sort of decompress, and I couldn't imagine what that kind of stress would be like if I had to put it towards climbing a ranked ladder. I wouldn't mind trying it sometime, but I definitely need to be in the right mental state and have a good team to feel truly comfortable trying it. And that's all I really got for today's video. I know it wasn't like truly insightful, I suppose, but you know, I guess you could really think about it. Anything could change within 5 years for the better. It could also really change 5 years for the worse. But it's nice to see that League is a more suitable game for anyone to come in and play. Even though I still don't think that a lot of people want that, so to speak, but you know, Riot's got to make their money. They got to entice anyone to come in and play. And it's nice to have actually been able to play the game again and not just want to blow my brains out. So I guess that's kind of a good thing, I suppose. But anywho, I apologize if you came here and watched this whole thing thinking you're going to get something incredibly inspiring for you for your next competitive match or whatever. But like I said, I'm not very good at the game. I'm kind of trying to get a little bit better, but that will have to come some point down the line way further on. But anywho, that's all I got for today. I will keep playing off and on, but as of right now, it's sort of just in a sort of fad state. I'm waiting for the next sort of big game to come out, and that will probably look to be the next patch for Final Fantasy XIV in mid-ish August from what it looks like. So you got a month of my attention, League, so don't waste this opportunity. For Pokemon Unite though, I ain't playing that shit. Ugh. But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click right up there to check out some of my other videos that I've done, or if you really feel like it, you can click right up there to subscribe. And until next time guys, I will see you all later.